I wonder if we can drink the water. Although I suspect that will kill me. Drink water. While it looks refreshing in a way, they're slightly reluctant to drink water that glows. Maybe some other time. What? If I tell you to drink the glowing water, you drink the glowing water, damn it. Welcome back to another episode of Saturday Afternoon Gaming. I'm your host, Gaming Jay, and today we are checking out Space Quest 2. There it is. Looks like the Atari logo in the background there, actually. So, last time on Saturday Afternoon Gaming, I completed Space Quest 1, and I said in those videos I was thinking of checking out Space Quest 2. I decided, what the heck, let's go ahead and do this. It's not like I'm trying to play through 1001 games, and I'm on a schedule, and there's other games I should be playing. Hell, I'm just going to spend my time playing these games instead. But hey, you know what? As I say that, you gotta make time to do the things that you want to do. And as much as I'm enjoying the 1001 Games quest, there are games that I want to play that are off the book, that aren't in the book. And so I decided a long time ago I would not limit myself to only playing games that are in the book. So here's a bit of a backstory. It basically recounts the first game. Now, when I was growing up, I had Space Quest 2. I never played Space Quest 1, so this is all I knew about the first chapter of the game. Essentially, we foiled some kind of fiendish plot, we got, some kind of star generator weapon, and we became a hero. Life was beautiful. Except heroes come and go, people soon forget, your celebrated herodom slowly fades, leaving you once again a janitor. Space Quest is the game about being a janitor in space and going on crazy adventures. At the end of the first game, you're a celebrated hero, but it kind of follows the sitcom formula of it resets everything back to square one at the beginning of every game, or at least for this game. I actually don't have a lot of experience with the later Space Quest, so I don't know if he's still a janitor or whatnot. Anyway, the promotion to head janitor was no consolation, so I'm the chief of all janitors. Since you were the only member of the janitorial staff, yeah, that wouldn't really be much of a big deal. Nor is it transferred to Orbital Station 4. Sweating like a pork beast in a pressure suit while locating space debris in zero gravity wasn't your idea of a good time. Life sucks again. That's very depressing. To become the hero of a galaxy only to end up being, a regular schlub again. So we're back to being a janitor. Here comes a spaceship docking with the space station. Isn't this just amazing retro graphics here? I mean, I talk about the retro graphics a lot when I play these old games, but my god, I just love the look of these games. It's so cool. Alright, my name is Jay. I think your actual name is Roger Wilco, but I'm going with Jay. Orbital Station 4 is one of many orbiting Xenon, your home planet. So I guess I'm not from Earth. Is a transfer point for travelers seeking transportation to the various planets in the Irnon system. I've always found the Space Quest games to be very reminiscent of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, in that they're sort of ludicrous space adventures. So if you like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, you might enjoy this playthrough here. As we begin this chapter of our story, we find you, Jay, ace janitor, doing what you do best. Sweeping in 0 Gs. Do you really need to sweep dust away when there is no gravity? It seems like that would be a wasted task. Beep emanating from your wristwatch. You release your grip on the broom. And off goes the broom. Well, it was a boring job anyway, right? The broom floats away, never to be used again. That makes the 3rd of this week. Wait till your boss finds out. Wait, I thought I was the head janitor. When you're the boss janitor, you have no one to answer to. Is there like a group of people above janitor? I guess, middle management. Okay, as we learned from Space Quest 1, we have to save repeatedly in this game. Sierra games encourage grief saving because you can die so easily. Case in point, I'm just going to walk over here and try and get my broom. What's the worst that could happen? And I fell off. Apparently there is gravity in space because I just fell off. Due to an obvious lack of common sense, you've stepped off the edge, lost your magnetic grip of the ship, and drifted to your death. Literally game over on the first screen. They got like the sad music. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and not do something so stupid. Our watch beeped, so let's look at our watch. Okay, now, in these old Sierra games, they were text interpreters and you're supposed to type things. If you type in something too complicated, however, I don't think the game necessarily interprets it. So let's see if it can do this. Look at your watch. I don't think that is in view right now. Okay. But if we type look watch, it does. You basically have to pretend like you're talking to a baby. Like, look, watch, bad guy, bad, go fast. You can't type in complicated phrases. It just doesn't work in these old Sierra games. What are we supposed to do now? Press button? Just press F10 or a button. Okay. Wait. See? Oh, I see. Oh, this looks to be our boss, and he does not look upset. Jay, get in here on the double. You've got a mess to clean up in the shuttle which just returned. One of the passengers got space sick. That just means he threw up, right? That's space code for he barfed. Besides, you should... Oh, whatever. Okay, well, he's mad at me. Let's go ahead and go in here. Now, you may think, where's the entrance? How do I get in here? I do totally remember this. Oh, and let's up the speed. It is always good to play these Sierra adventure games in a faster speed. Look at this! We're in 0G, and there's the entrance. I always thought that was really cool. So, like, I had this game way back when I was a kid, before there were strategy guides, before there were walkthroughs. I mean, you could buy, like, big books that would guide you through these games. But I didn't own that when I first started playing the game, so I had to figure all this out myself. So it was a bit of an exploration and adventure. The thing with these games is because you have to type things in, and you don't know what's going to work and what's not going to work, these Sierra games, they really gave the illusion that there was so much going on, and there were so many possibilities. Like when you walk into a room, you think, oh my god, can I talk to that guy? Can I talk to that guy? Can I pick this up? Can I look here? Can I do this? Can I do this? And it made your imagination run wild. Now, in reality, there was a lot of stuff you couldn't do. Most of these rooms were pretty limited. Like, I can take my clothes, look in the locker, I appear into the locker, and there's a cube and athletic supporter. So we take cube, take supporter. Alright, look in locker, there's nothing left. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, ultimately, there wasn't as much to do as it may seem, which is kind of too bad. But, I mean, the idea of capturing your imagination, like, look at these guys at the bottom here, looking at terminals and stuff. I always wondered if you could get up there and talk to them and what would happen and so on. Anyway, I'm going to stop blabbing because I feel like I'm going through this really slowly, but it's about time you got in here, Jay. Head for the shuttle bay on the double. I'm warning you, you're in your last leg around here, bud. One more screw up and you're history. Boy, that guy, he does not have people skills. He then orders transportation officer to send you directly to the shuttle bay, nowhere else until the job has been completed. See, that's a big tease, because it made me think that there was more going on in this little space station than just the shuttle bay. And I always wish, like, could I see, like, the mess hall or, like, the store level? You know, like, it kind of felt like a space station, like, in Deep Space Nine, if anyone's familiar with that, you know, whatchamacallit, Star Trek show. So here we go, popping into our pods, kind of like in Futurama, and boom. Now, this ship also always reminded me of the Millennium Falcon. We're going to see there's going to be lots of like Star Wars, like Planet of the Apes and other sci-fi references. That was another thing that was really awesome about Space Quest, is it just reminded you of so many other sci-fi adventures that you'd seen in movies and TV shows and stuff. Okay, so what do you guys think? What's going to happen to this Millennium Falcon? Let's get our command here ready. Clean barf. Okay, you guys ready? We're going to pop in and do this real quick. What do you think is going to happen as you enter the shuttle? Start sniffing around for the mess. Wait. Who enters a room and starts smelling for barf? You're surprised to find the shuttle's not empty. There are two extremely ugly suckers walking towards you. Hey, what the... Your favorite expletive here. So what the crap or something? Pow, thwack, bink, thud. Your protest is cut short as two interstellar ruffians proceed to thump you unconscious. Man, I've never been thumped unconscious, but that does not... seemed like something that would be fun. Time passes. More time passes. A strange dream turns into the realization that you are being shaken and talked to by a voice unfamiliar to you. A dull ache triggers a distant memory of a scuffle, blah, blah, blah. Upon awakening from your forced rest, it becomes quite apparent that you aren't in Kansas or Xenon anymore. Good joke. You find that you're being held upright under physical blah blah blah. Goons met on the shuttle, and you try to struggle free. You notice that your hands are tied behind your back. Oh no, we're being constrained. As the eyes dial into focus, you make out an oddly disfigured being seated before you. A sagging mass of flesh that appears to have been human at one time. Tubes and wires extending from his body, leading to machines which keep him alive. Suddenly, his visage stirs and he begins to speak. Oh, this guy does not seem like he is reaping the benefits of modern medical technology. Or maybe he is, and maybe he's being kept alive, but I mean, is this life? Do you want to live like this? Well. Did you have a nice nap? I thought you would have resorted to drastic measures to wake you. Oh well. Welcome to my humble fortress, Jay. The name's Vohal. Sludge Vohal. I was a genius behind the star generator. So if you remember in the first game, they do reference a scientist named Vohal. Turns out, he's a bad guy. It was to be my ultimate war machine until some sissy pants scientist decided it would be better to use saving lives rather than destroying them. What a waste of technology. Excuse me if I sound bitter. Who wakes up in the morning and thinks, I'm just going to do evil? I mean, even bad guys think that they're good guys. They think that the means justify the ends, or that they want to get rich, and so they're doing good things for their family or whatever. But who just thinks, I just want to kill a bunch of people? I mean, that's like psychopathic evil. Anyway, you ruined my Syrian operation, blah, blah, blah. Changed all that. Oh, and I suppose I should have known better. It's you those mental midget Syrians. That's not the point. Blah, blah, blah. Basically, this guy wants revenge on us. It sucks when somebody wants revenge on you for something that you did and you didn't even know you were doing anything to piss anyone off. Observe my latest creation. I intend to infest your planet with thousands of these genetically engineered door-to-door life insurance salesmen. I will at last reap sweet revenge from the scientific community that mocked me. Wait, he's brought back from the dead. He created a weapon that could, destroy star systems, and his plan for revenge is artificial door-to-door insurance salesman. Makes sense, I suppose. My plan was to kill you, but I've had a change of heart. Ha ha ha. They never kill you. The villains never kill you when they get the chance. Peers down at the hoses protruding from his chest and connected to life support. Forgive me, I'm a kidder. I've decided I would much more watching you suffer. My associates will escort you surface of Labian. You will perform many painful hours of manual labor in my mines. Be seeing you. He's laughing to himself like it's the funniest joke he's heard all week. Ah ha ha. An injection renders you unconscious. Valhall's massive asteroid fortress getting smaller. So they're sending me to a planet to basically work to my death. Only, it's not going to go that way. We're going to have an escape plan. Now, these guys look like the apes from Planet of the Apes to me. So this is what I'm talking about, more sci-fi references. This also looks like a ship platform from Return of the Jedi on the forest moon of Endor. Anyway, after touching down on a giant landing platform, you're ushered to a hovercraft waiting to transport you to the mining site. Utter despair sets in. Yeah, that would be despair-inducing. Got a little animated cutscene here. Now, as I said, when I played Space Quest 2 as a kid, I had no idea who Vohal was. And I had no idea whether you encountered him in the first game. I'm actually semi-disappointed you never do, because he's mentioned as a scientist in the first one, and there's no indication he's anyone of any importance, or that he's bad in any way. Uh-oh. Oh, great. I suppose we're out of fuel. Way to go, Gorf Breath. That's a really racially charged slur in space talk, guys. Don't go around throwing the word Gorf around. You're going to piss some people off. Don't blame me. It was your turn to fill up. You're always forgetting. Blah, blah, blah. Essentially, they ran out of fuel. They're here arguing with one another, and in the meantime, boom! We crash on the surface, and everyone dies. Except me. Good thing that guard broke your fall. Okay, I guess we're not going to need to clean barf after all, or maybe we can. I don't understand barf. Wait, do you understand vomit? That does not compute. Okay, so first things first. Once you've crashed on an alien ship, or on an alien planet here, let's see if these guards have anything of value. So search body. Search your grotesque body and find a small, thin, magnetic card. It looks like a key card. You seem to recall seeing one somewhere in the past. Now, if you had played the first game, that makes sense. But again, if you play the second game like me, you never played the first game, you might be thinking, Wait, so this is just telling me he remembers seeing a key card? I mean, it's kind of a weird statement anyway. Oh, a key card. Yeah, I remember seeing one a long time ago. It's like, it's a freaking key card. Oh, see on the right, there's like eyes that were peeking out on me in the darkness? Yeah, that's something watching me. That might become relevant. Blah, blah, blah. You know what? Let's take a second and save here before we do anything else. Okay, we're supposed to press this. So you hear this beeping? I think that's a homing device. So we're going to press a button so we stop this this homing device, because we don't actually want anyone coming to the rescue of these poor guys. I'm sure at the base they're just like, I don't know, Hank and Terry went out with that prisoner and they just haven't been back. It's been about 3 days. I'm sure they're fine. Now, I think we have to hide here, or we're about to get killed. Some of the stuff I kind of remember, and some of the stuff I definitely do not. Is anything going to come for us? You hear something. It sounds not unlike the hovercraft you wrecked. You arrived in? We're just basically biding our time here, letting this monkey search. He's like, man, I didn't find anything. Guess I'll just keep on going. Phew, that was a tense moment. Vohal's thugs failed to spot you and is off to search somewhere else. It's always hard to know, like, what would have worked there. Like, if I was really playing this for the first time and I had no idea what to do, it's not entirely clear that I could have done that. He might have just walked behind the tree and shot me. Okay, so here we have a little pink guy. He seems to be in trouble. He's stopped moving. He's just looking at us. Look. Forced look at creature. The little creature caught in the snare of a thick-looking pinkish skin. Or has thick-looking pinkish skin. He looks to be less than a meter tall. He doesn't seem to be, or seem too thrilled with this predicament. Okay. Can we talk to him? Talk creature. He doesn't respond. Okay, fine. Untie creature. Go on, you little scamp, you little pink-butted, naked scamp. Get out of here. Before it disappears through a tiny hole in the bush, the little creature gives you a long glance. He's checking me out, man. Can we take the rope? Is that a thing? Without the weight, not within your reach. Oh man. Okay. Now we got a few chores to do here, so while I'm picking up some random foresty things to escape, like if you're actually trapped in a forest, what would your plan of attack be? I guess, like in this awkward situation, whoa, what's going on here? In this awkward situation, like you might have to walk towards your captors, because how long could you survive in the jungle like this, just totally on your own? Let's look at, there's another clearing. Okay, I'm going to save again because I remember there's a way to die here. And you seem to have kicked one of these strange little spores. That's basically it. You know, if you ever did encounter an alien planet, probably a lot of stuff on the planet could easily be toxic to humans, because you'd have no immunities to it. But we can take some spores. Take possession of one of the spores, careful not to mistakenly break it open. If I had a spore like this in my pocket and I was walking around, I would be freaking terrified. Because you could literally die at any moment if you sat down funny. Okay, here we go. We also have to walk our way through this thing, and this thing is literally without grief saving. I don't know if there's a way to do it, because watch, as soon as I'll see how far I can get without messing up. Oh god, oh god. Whew. Actually, that was pretty far. Let me save that. I did way better than I thought I would. But if you touch the edge of any of this stuff, you pretty much die like that instantly. This thing comes and eats you. I don't know what the hell it is. It's like a mix between a plant and an animal. I suppose evolutionarily speaking, we have plants and animals because those are two big divisions between life for us, but it doesn't have to be that way. You could conceivably have things that are half plant, half animal. It just didn't work out that way on Earth. But, I mean, this thing is half plant, half animal. Oh man, look at this. Oh yeah, I only had to save once. I'm the boss of this. Take berries. Now this was a game that I discovered in my uncle's house. So when I was a kid, every time I went to my uncle's house, good old Uncle John, he had an old computer in his basement, and he had just a big case. We'll try and follow this creature. Oh, can't go through there. He had a big case of just tons and tons and tons and tons of games. Like tons of games on 5.5 or 5.25 inch floppy disks. So for those of you who don't know, like I've definitely talked about this before, but basically old floppy disks were just like the big black disks that you might have seen on the internet. And they could only, they held like less than a megabyte of data, and these old games would be on these disks. And so he had like boxes of these discs, and literally the discs were just black discs, and they would just have like a word like Space Quest written on it. And so I would go and I would sit in the basement and go methodically through all the games one at a time and go, okay, what's Space Quest like, and play it. And there was a lot of crappy games, but there were some really, really good games, and this is where I encountered Space Quest for the first time. Damn it. I'm getting too cocky. I made it through once really easily. And now I'm trying to do it without saving too much, but I definitely should be saving. So let's see past this part, because this part is brutal. Like, imagine you had to do that without dying, and there was no way to grief save. It would just take you forever. It would just take you forever. And I don't know how I would feel about that. Like, these old Sierra games, they encourage you to sort of be going around grief saving, but, you know, I don't know, it was just sort of part of the game. Like, nobody ever thought anything of it. It's not like if you did this in like an RPG, maybe people would be like, oh man, don't save every time you pass a certain point. But in this game, you literally have to. Like, there's no other way to do it. That's a mailbox up there, by the way. What do you think I want you to climb? Climb cliff. The bank is too steep of a climb. Yeah, we can get up there later, but just not at this exact moment. I'm like saving every screen now. I think Space Quest 1 got me like really paranoid. Oh, here's something fun you can do. Climb tree. This is as uncool can be. Oh man, I'm gonna use that. It looks like you've adhered yourself to this tree like a fly to flypaper. And speaking of insects, here come a swarm now. And we're literally picked to the bone by a swarm of insects. Woo! Yeah, these old Sierra games, so inventive, the ways to die. So we're gonna go ahead and not climb that tree. You can walk into the tree, it doesn't kill you, but if you try and climb it, you get stuck on it. The second Space Quest game here too, you're pretty much in janitor clothes for most of the game. I noticed when I played the first Space Quest that you were in like a spacesuit for a lot of times, so you really did feel like some astronaut of some importance. I kind of like the fact that they leave you in your space clothes so you don't get any high, ideas about being someone important. Now let's check our inventory for a second. We have an order form. Surprise, surprise! I haven't looked at this yet, but look, order form. This is an order form from you. Removed from magazine for free Labian Terror Beast mating whistle. It's ready to be mailed. All right. Well, conveniently enough, mail form. You drop the order form into the box. The mailbox hums, buzzes for a while. Then an object of some sort drops into the tray. Man, imagine the mail service worked that quickly. I had an order form for a whistle. I threw it in the box. Literally, this thing just pumps right out. This must be like some kind of replicator or something. Like, I definitely didn't send away from it. No space mailman showed up here. Look in tray. The tray is an actual small indentation. It is currently bearing what looks to be a whistle. Take whistle. There we go. Let's look at this whistle. See what we got. Whistle is usual looking. Okay. Gonna go ahead and save before we blow this whistle because I don't want it to accidentally kill me. Nothing seemed to happen. Can we fall off this cliff? I imagine we die. Thanks to fancy footwork, you're now picking yourself up off the ground after barely surviving a fall down a small cliff. Well, I'm glad it didn't kill me, but first of all, that was high enough that there was some kind of danger of it killing me. I could see like hurting my ankle or something. Or maybe popping that spore that was in my pocket. Maybe that wasn't a smart thing to do after all. So I think now we've collected everything we need from the wilderness. Now, if I had total control over this, I would totally be wearing one of the guard uniforms from those guards who died. It seems to me like that is a smart thing to do. What was that creature doing? Oh man. Okay. Here's a little tip. I'm pretty sure he was rubbing berries on his body, And if you didn't type in "look creature" fast enough, you totally would have missed that. You would have had no idea what was happening. It looked like he was just giving himself an all-over body massage before he went for a swim, which is about as uncool gets, or as uncool can be. What's that phrase? Anyway. One thing I didn't like about these old Sierra games is as soon as you start typing something, the game would keep on going. So if you weren't a fast typist, you could get screwed over. In the later Sierra games, as soon as you pressed a key, the game would pause and let you type in stuff. I think that is a better system, as this old way of doing it is a little tricky. Yuck. So let's see what happens as we try and wade through the water here. Hint, hint. This might be a very creative way for us to die, because there's definitely something in the water with us. Oh no! Run! You can't run! Walk very fast. I don't understand very... Okay, just how about walk fast? Is that good enough? Is that clear enough for you? You have the intelligence of a 6-year-old. And something got us. You feel something slimy clamp down your leg and pull you beneath the surface. Blah, blah, blah. We are dead. You're dead. Better luck next time. You idiot. Okay. We're going to rub some berries. On self. On self. We're getting all berried up. The berries all over your body. Now you smell like walking ammonia inhalant. Well, that should be good. This thing probably won't want to eat us. I hope. Let's just try and walk fast just to be secure. What? Wait, what did it say? Not right now? I'm trenching through a disgusting swamp with a creature potentially following me, about to eat me. I don't feel like walking fast right now. It's really not in my purview. You feel something slimy clamp down your leg and almost as suddenly spit you back out. You hear sounds of aquatic gagging and retching. Evidently, you had some bad taste from the berries. Sweet. So berries saved our life. I guess I didn't try and eat the berries, but, you know, if I did, they definitely would have killed me, I'm pretty sure. And we made it through the swamp. Huzzah! We are flying through this adventure. I know it took me like an hour and a half to beat Space Quest 1. I wonder how long it'll take to beat this one. Now, let's recap our little journey here. We went to clean up some barf, got abducted. We found out that a scientist from the first game was actually very evil, and he wanted to make us toil in the mines, but we escaped basically through sheer luck. We had nothing to do with you know, anything. the thing just ran out of fuel. The thing that was taking us to the work order camp. And now we're here. We've survived a swamp. So we've kind of done the first and only thing of any relevance here. So, okay. Apparently, we're actually supposed to go underwater. Ah, we found a deeper area of the swamp. Okay, here's where we have to hold our breath. Now, I am using a bit of a tip guide here to help me get through this, because I vaguely remember how to beat this game, but with these Sierra games, they're so specific in what you have to do that if I didn't do this, I literally would just be lost on the first screen probably still. And even when I was a kid, as I said, and I said this in the other Space Quest video, I had never beaten Space Quest or any Sierra game until I was able to purchase. I saved up my allowance and I purchased some strategy guides. And what is this glowing thing? Grotto below the swamp. A strange light dances up the walls. Is origin a glowing gem? Alright, we're just going to take this sacred gem. I'm sure it's not going to cause us any difficulties. Hold breath. I guess, is there a way to swim without holding your breath? Because if so, that's pretty stupid. But yeah, like I even if I could get by the swamp as a kid, I never would have thought to look for an area where we could dive down underneath. I mean, it's pretty ingenious, but just, you know, these Sierra games, the way they were set up, they are really, 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 really hard to beat if you did not have a strategy guide. I imagine they were designed to be the types of games that you talked about with your friends at, like, you know, by the water cooler or whatever, and you figured out together how to beat the game. But, you know, for me as a kid, you know, playing this game years after it was released, not knowing anyone else who even knew about it, Without the strategy guide, there was just no way for me to beat it. So I remember saving up and buying strategy guides, and I bought one that was like the Space Quest companion, and it was like all the Space Quest games ever, screenshots, tips, stories about development, all sorts of stuff. It was really like a big behind the scenes book that also told you how to beat the game. And I remember working through that, and it was the first time ever I saw most of Space Quest 2, because I couldn't get past this jungle as a kid. That was the extent of my knowledge. Next, we gotta climb this tree. The tree's dead and seems to be free of slick secretions some of the others generate. Begin up, so we're kind of shuffling up this tree, and crack. Oof. Good thing I did not fall over the ledge and die, because that would have been very sad. Now we're just going to keep walking here, and I guess we got trapped now. Yikes, you've been snared, suspended above the ground. You're unable to move freely. Well, this is embarrassing for everyone involved, really. Just going to hang out here. I'm not even struggling. Oh, I was about to type in struggle. After a while, the cerebral fireworks begin. Capillaries begin to burst. Under strain, you pass out. Being held upside down is not something you want to have happen for a long period of time. Is anything going to come for us?